It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walyus's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to. To show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes. The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
Look at all the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No. It's not.
There. Up ahead. Down in the center. Follow me.
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. And I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Wallace's icon?
I tell you, you were a madman.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done. Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the icon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence.
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, and I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight. I think so. I can feel the icon inside me. But something's wrong. He wasn't just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Leviathan!
No, just an egg. But a formidable adversary nonetheless.
Friends. Nice try. We're all ready. Too slow. Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time. But he knew we were here. How?
I don't know. He's never reacted to anything or anyone. Until now.
The child has been bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but... there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
I'm sorry, Walius. I will make this right. So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
To understand the spell which binds Walius, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend revealing how to make your very own mother crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant. Well, yes.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new mother crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the mother crystals. So we know the seal's source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
The Vare is not easy to find. We must first head north and then west, deeper into the forest.
My lord, may I speak with you a moment? There
There is a matter with which I would beg your aid.
Of course, what is it?
Please, not so loud.
Something serious, then?
Yes. I think we might have company. I was passing by the low gate when I saw a figure moving among the trees up on the cloak. At first, I thought it must have been you or your brother, so I didn't say anything, but the more I think about it, the more certain I am that the figure looked familiar.
And you're sure it wasn't one of the other villagers?
Positive. I think it was someone from outside the wall who has found his way inside. Of course, it could just be my imagination playing tricks on me. I only caught a fleeting glimpse. But if it is who I think it is, we cannot allow him to leave now. Would you go?
Very well. Whether the man you saw is...
Perhaps. Just promise me that if you do find someone up there...
Don't worry. I won't draw my sword unless I need to.
Thank you.
Yamila, this man you saw, might he be the customer you told me of?
I fear so.
The customer?
I'll explain later. Come on.
If we pick too many of the flowers, there won't be enough left.
I can't.
Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fannet, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too, but...
But...
This affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula said that you were here to help us. You couldn't help me, could you?
I'd be happy to. If I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need is something must have. The trouble is, Talor, so while you...
All right.
Bastard things. All the fish right. Oh, I never should have let him go alone. Ty, take me what... You! Shula said you were a force to be reckoned with. Are you?
Why do you ask?
Hey? I'm worried about a friend of mine. Would you help me find him?
I can try.
Of course. You know about the glamour our ancestors cast to keep this place.
Shula told us...
Right. So you know the cairns we use to maintain the spell. If it weren't for the likes of us, it would have...
So your friend?
Aye. He said he was going down... There are two...
All right.
His name, if you...
Very well. One cairn by the ship. I do. Though not from the forge.
I see.
It's no trouble, really.
Not that I know of. Suppose he might have been a bit
When you say out and about,
just round the village. Wanders over. Maybe he knows some.
maybe.
No sign of the child. Greetings,
Your name is Blazir, is it not?
Zelnus. Talo's never been ill, dear.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either.
Oh, did you see anything strange on your way? It was like he was expecting.
Well, that certainly does. And it might just be what Fanny is.
I do.
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
Almost time for harvest. I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me anything.
Nothing conclusive. Blazir, the fisherman. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from
The forest. Between. Surely not.
But then...
I can't say for sure. You may have encountered them.
And you think they may have cause to look...
I do. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Pheasant Outlet? Please. I'll explain.
Very well. A bottle. Breath of the arbor. Who's there? Stop! Hang on! I'm coming!
Don't eat me! I'll give you gut rot, I swear!
Stand back. I'll handle this. you all right?
I'm more than all right. I'm saved! Oh, I could kiss you!
Maybe you should introduce yourself first.
Hervey! I knew it was you. What are you doing here?
I came to see you. Oh, my little canary, it's been so long.
Thank you for saving him and sparing
Who is he?
Hervey. One of many.
One of me, and then you are...
I left you a note, didn't I? And I told you not.
The flame of your love was as a beacon in the night that guided...
Hervey.
I was walking by the coast near Northreach when I saw a lady who looked like you. Eyes like the ocean. Hair like the driven snow. The next moment, she and her companions were jumping in a skiff and sailing...
It must have been Shula bringing us here. So what? You rowed, found a nose how many leagues across the bay, simply because you saw a woman with white hair.
And as I did, the skies changed from a dull and... That was when I...
Oh, why did you come? I cannot leave my people, Hervey. And now that you know about this place, we must return to Haven and accept...
I'm to meet your family.
But first...
He should never have found this place. How could I be so careless?
Don't blame yourself.
O ceaseless rill, guide thy bounty.
Forgive...
There's nothing to... You two met at...
When I worked there, yes. And for that reason, some of us seek employment.
And so you supported your...
I did. And I have never regretted it for a moment. I also found Hervey. But our love could never be...
What will happen to him now?
Since our people settled in Mesidi...
I see.
That was before my time, you understand? I've never had to make a decision like this. Yamila, know that I do not blame you for any of this. This was my mistake. And
Thank you, tributary.
I will take that into consideration.
Of course. Come what may.
Bastard things. Tore the fish right.
Hail, stranger. Are you a rider by any chance?
I am. What gave me away?
Oh, I can smell it on you. And not just any stables. Something tells me you've never been one to ride half. If I had a guess, I'd say your bird eats only the finest green.
Nothing but the best for my ambrosia.
Ambrosia, eh? Pretty name. What's she like?
Well, she's tall and strong. And her feathers are as white as snow.
You're joking. You've got a white chocobo.
I have, yes. I suppose they are rather rare.
This I've got to see. Can you bring her here?
I would if I could, but...
Me dad's got a boat. It'd be perfect.
You would? Well, all right then.
He'll be in the storehouse on the other side of the brook. Tell him, man.
You one of the...
I am.
I am.
She's asked to see my...
Or you could just say no.
Well, truth be told, I didn't take the idea seriously at first. But thinking about it, it would make it
Well, if you're sure, still. I'll need you to bring us a mimic gourd or two.
And,
Oh, don't ask me.
well, the man who made Ambrosia's tack lived in Martha's Rest, and if I remember correctly, he traded in chocobo feed too. So I suppose I'll go and ask him.
I'll be sailing over to...
Ah, Clive.
Oh?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians... Well, now the rest have come to... Now, I don't mind, but we ain't got nowhere for him to bed down. Poor bugger. I'd build him a new... But where would I put him? Which leaves us in a bit of a...
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up, but there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need... And that's what I was hoping you might help me with.
It's no burden.
Thank you,
So, where were you thinking of me?
Well,
Eastpool. It's been a...
it was a... And if it
Nice.
the blight might... would have said... But now...
I-
And I...
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. She's...
Oh, don't say. Anyway.
I was hoping... And...
Oh, reckon I could.
Really?
But just be...
I will.
Oh, you're... And in times like...
We certainly... Northreach, then. Wouldn't want to keep Anders' father waiting.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Those things didn't fight like men.
Ah, there you are. And this must be... Ambrosia, was it?
I have the mimic or two. Here.
Thank you kindly. Soon as she's gobbled this up, we'll set sail.
We're going to take a little trip across the bay now, Ambrosia. Don't worry. You'll be all right. Well, we made it.
You did and all? She is as white as snow. You're beautiful, aren't you, girl?
Brave, too. She was calm as you like on the journey over. The mimic gourd will have played its part, of course, but passing through the walls enough to spook most birds even then. Not this one, though.
Ambrosia's been through a lot. I doubt there's much that could unnerve her now.
Not with a beloved master by her side.
No. It's you who looks after me, isn't it, girl?
Anyway, thanks for bringing her here. I hope I can breed a bird like her someday.
And if you and Ambrosia need ferrying back to Northreach, you only need say the word.
Thank you. But I think we might explore Mysidia together. What do you say, Ambrosia?
Before we turned east at the ship to reach the coast. Now we must head in the opposite direction.
Left it is, then. If there's one thing I know about beastmen, is that they love to hide in the dark. What are they up to? Some sort of ritual. Sorry to disturb you. A silver chain. I doubt the Tombreys made it. This must be what Fennec was talking about. You deserve a rest. Well, here's the cat. But no sign of Nassef. To the riverbank, then. Come on. Yeah! Who have we here? I'm looking for a man named Nassef.
Aye, I know him. Takes care of the cans. Wait, what do you want with the lad anyway?
His friend. Apparently he ventured out to work on one of these cans.
Well, that is a worry.
You're a hunter, yes? You must know the woods.
There's a bridge further down the path. But if I remember...
Maybe.
Don't mention it.
Let's hope so. Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia. This must be the bridge the hunter was talking about.
Stay away, damn you!
Hold on! I'm the tributary's guest. And you must be Nassef.
I am? But how do you know that?
Your friend Katav asked me to look for you when you didn't return.
I'm sorry. I was so focused on attuning the cairn, I didn't see those creatures coming till it...
How exactly do they work?
Oh, there are crystals inside. They're what keeps the glamour going. Should the ether cease to flow through too many of them, our shroud would quickly unravel.
And an important job it is. But you'll struggle to do it if you're dead.
Yeah. No, the truth is, me and Katav usually work together, watching each other's backs like. But when we heard outsiders were coming, we split up to get the job done faster, so things would be perfect for your arrival.
So you found him then?
Not before the local fauna did. My arrival seemed to put them off their dinner.
Mustn't have been. Expect you'll be wanting someone to escort you back.
When you're next in...
If you insist.
Oh, ceaseless rill, guide thy...
Yep.
I did.
I knew...
Well, I'm still none the wiser.
Forgive me. This chain. It's a Gregorian Maternoster.
Worn by men of the faith.
To understand that, you need to understand what the Tomberries are. They feed on hatred and suffering. And some say that if you render them an offering, some token of grievance against your fellow man, they will put a curse upon him.
So you think someone's put a Tombury curse on Talor?
I can't say for sure. Truth be told, I always assumed it was an old wives' tale. But given his fear of the forest and the presence of the chain on the altar, I don't know what else to think.
Does Talor have any enemies in the village? Anyone who would nurse such a grudge?
No, I believe the one who left the chain at the altar was Talor himself.
I beg your pardon?
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you attempt to curse a soul that has returned to the sea already, your ire has nowhere to go but back to its source.
You're saying he cursed himself?
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain to disguise his true beliefs, lest Grieger's faithful turn their cudgels on him.
Did they ever catch him in his deception? Might that explain the ill will he bears someone?
Not that he ever told me.
Come now. Let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past.
All right. If there's anything I can do...
Thank you.
Aye, and... we call it an adder stone. It's a gather. If you find anything, see...
I am, thank you.
Bastard things.
thought I'd lost you. But you thought... Thank you. Nasev told me everything. Oh.
All that matters is that you're far be it from me to tell you how to do.
Or if we have to. Maybe we should think it'd take its toll, of course.
I'd rather not.
Your bearers.
That we are, thank the tides. The others can't attune to the crystals in the cairns the same way we can. Reckon this...
So, you do this work for the good of your...
We're forced to. No. From what I've heard of the way things work on the outside, we were truly blessed that our rain fell here in Mist City. Our people are few enough as it is. If we started turning on each other...
They would.
Anyway, all's well that...